Welcome to Death at Fleming Manor. It's an investigation game where our job is to fill in a death certificate. Sounds easy enough? I think this is a golden idol-like, so we're gonna be filling some gaps. A car accident, you say? Was anyone hurt? Yes, just a moment. He mutters under his breath while writing something down. I see. Thank you for your report. We're definitely in Britain. This is very classic British policeman look, but also Fleming Manor looked quite like a stately home. Good evening, officer. Good evening. And you are? Ah, are you the new coroner assigned to our district? Yes, that's correct. We've been expecting you, coroner. If you could fill out this form first. It's over here. Yes, we're the coroner. Makes sense we're going to be filling in the death certificates. Look around and click the shining spot to examine them closely and fill in the form, yes. So we investigate scenes and we fill them in. September 1959, appointments, Coroner Edgar Whitmore. Is that us? And Clerk Victor Hale. So what are we filling here in? Cedar Vale Police. So we have to just fill in our own name. And then use our fancy stamp to stamp it out as, we done it. Notice of appointment of coroner. County of Buckinghamshire. Division of Cedar Vale. First name, Edgar Whitmore. Stamp it. Yes, I want to submit this form. I think I know my name. Yes, all blanks have been filled in correctly. It is approved. That's it. We've learned how to make reports, fill in paperwork. All set then, Coroner Whitmore. Glad to have you with us. Glad to be here. Ooh. An unexpected accident. So I assume for the demo we may just get to do one case and then the rest will be for the full game. Okay, so this is some sort of respected Dr. Dame Fleming. My dear son, I hope this letter reaches you well. How are your studies going? I do hope you haven't been entirely buried under anatomy books. This spring, I opened the convalescent house and I've named it Fleming Manor. It's more than just a place for treatment. I hope it will become the beginning of a legacy for our family. Your father would have understood that completely. It's already been 10 years since he passed, but not a day goes by that I do not think of him. But this place isn't only for the patients, you know. I built it with something beyond them. I built it with you in mind. And when you're ready, I hope one day you will take over Fleming Manor. I hear you're still rowing stroke seat for the boat club. It sounds as if it's keeping you even busier than dissection practice. Enjoy the upcoming regatta in August. Give it everything you've got. And once the race is over, do come visit in September. There's so much I'd like to show you. Always proud of you. Always with love. Mother, SF. So she's Fleming of the Fleming Manor and she's a respected doctor and we're gonna be investigating something to do with that manor. Okay, dramatic look around. Episode 1. An unexpected accident. I mean, that's a thing with accidents. Generally, you don't expect them. As the new coroner of Cedar Vale area, this is the first case under your watch. Examine the scenery carefully, refer to the autopsy report, and record the truth. Yeah, in this demo version, some parts of the full story have been omitted, so I guess there is like an overarching story in the game, but they're not gonna reveal too much about it in the demo. So we have the document we need to fill, a scene to investigate, and then we have a medical dictionary that we can check for any terms. Let's start investigating then. Well, we've got our victim. A large amount of blood is flowing from the head. There is no consciousness or pulse. The victim appears to be deceased. I mean, appears? I think you're the coroner, so you should be able to tell. Small trace of blood is found on the steering wheel. Click on the fountain pen to make a note. You'll be able to ask the forensic pathologist about it later. Okay, they're getting into doing it like a proper investigation with the different roles. We've noted it down. We'll ask the pathologist later. She's got a newspaper. Soviet Union launches Lunik 2, a great leap for lunar exploration. There is weather, high temperature 21, low temperature 13, precipitation 10%, sunrise, sunset. Yeah, I'm not sure we need to know about the lunar explanation, but maybe the weather is relevant. A new convalescent retreat for the upper class, Fleming Manor. Opened last spring in Cedar Vale, Fleming Manor has quickly gained popularity among the upper class. Operated by renowned surgeon Dr. Sophia Fleming. Okay, those are the wards we can collect. Oh, so maybe the cases are circling around the various people in the manor that died. There's more than one. There's suspicious things happening. I mean, so many rich people, someone may want to get rid of them. It caters to society's elite. Despite its steep admission costs, most rooms are already occupied, referring to patients as residents and wards as bedrooms. The manor allows full personalization of each room. Its beautiful grounds are ideal for socializing, quiet walks, and enjoying birdsong and blossoms in refined peace. Nursing staff are available 24 hours a day to provide personalized care. Tate Gallery presents the works of Eleanor Ainsworth. The Tate Gallery is proud to announce a special exhibition featuring the remarkable works of acclaimed artist Eleanor Ainsworth. Ainsworth's vibrant use of color breathes life into both sweeping landscapes and delicately rendered portraits, reaffirming the central role of color in artistic expression. Her unique vision and refined technique are once again expected to inspire and delight art lovers across the capital. The exhibition will be held in the special exhibition wing at the Tate Gallery from September 15th to October 31st. Join us for unforgettable circus experience. Okay, the circus is in town. Cedar Vale Tennis Challenge. Feature a legendary player. Okay, so that's the news. There is a bottle of leftover alcohol. A small amount remains inside. I guess we can talk to the pathologist about it to figure out if she's been drinking. Interestingly, there's lots of blood on the passenger seat of the car, but there's no one there. Suspicious. There's a map of the area. So there's Fleming Manor. Then we have Oak Hill, Fieldview Junction, Lakeside Junction, Cedarville Station, and Cedarville Road. Okay, we may need this to understand where even this accident took place. And there's some documents as well. Elite Motors in Cedarville, British Luxury Car Rental, September 3rd, Derek Walker. So Derek Walker potentially rented this car. So yeah, and then guaranteed by John Walker, I assume a relative, from 41 Elm Road, Cedarvale. Rental details: an Aston Martin DB4 for 2 weeks. Weekly rental costs £45. Wow. And the total rental £90. Yeah, I don't think you can get those prices anymore. Yeah, so they paid £30. They still have to pay £60, paying in cash. If you're gonna rent a car and then leave someone dead in it, don't leave your receipt in. Okay, we've checked this out, but yes, someone was clearly here. I mean, there is another person there, but there's also a bike, so it seems like that might be the person from the bike, and therefore the passenger is still missing. There's a handbag, so a little purse, lipstick, cigarettes with D Brown on them, suspicious plant motif, and a letter. Dear Daisy, did Derek really come out with the Aston Martin DB4 last week? He must come from an impressive family. Is he from high nobility, or do his parents have a successful business? Considering that his job is a stockbroker, it seems like his parents might have built their wealth from a flourishing business. But the fact that you first met him at the old tavern is so dramatic. It feels like a scene from a movie. That place is literally an old budget pub. I wonder why he was there that evening. It's as if he was waiting for his destiny to meet you. Please share more details when we meet next week. I'm so curious I can hardly contain myself. Best, Lauren. Okay, so this is saying that this woman who's here has met the man who rented the car, but doesn't suggest how long it's been. I mean, possibly quite a short time, considering they don't really know about his family. They're just like, oh, he must be rich, but not details. Okay, so what about this area? Yes, we've got a guy and a bicycle. Okay, so we can tell this was a T-junction where this accident happened. They're coming, and even if the bicycle man wasn't there, they were just going straight into that tree. We've got a wallet on the ground. My dear son Derek, I've noticed while working at this hospital that more and more equipment is being powered by electricity. If you learn the relevant skills and become an electrical technician, it will be a huge help when looking for a job in the future. If you were to work here, you'd also have your accommodation and meals sorted, so I can't understand why you're hesitating. You've promised to quit drinking, and I hope you haven't gone back to that. I've had enough of your laziness. It's time to start taking your future seriously. I expect to hear from you soon with some good news. Okay, so this is telling us that Derek isn't actually particularly from a rich family, right? His dad is working at the manor, and he's basically saying like, oh yeah, maybe if you picked up the trade, you know, maybe you could get a job or anything like that instead of just being at the pub drinking. So something is off about how he's presenting himself, right? Derek may have constructed a plan to scam some rich ladies that are currently residents at the manor. But we will see. We have this guy here, who's apparently a student at the Edinburgh University. He's got a train ticket from Edinburgh to Cedar Vale. Mr. R. Fleming. Oh, he might be the son of the doctor that runs the place then. That's unfortunate. She's not gonna be very pleased. He's got a bag. Grey's Anatomy. Rupert. That's his name, I guess. At the University of Edinburgh notebook, the boat club. She was writing to him about the boat club. A postcard with nothing we can't inspect. A wallet. Finally, visiting Mom's hospital from Cedar Vale Station. Bike. 1 hour. Better hurry before sunset. Do not forget. Bring the gold medal to show Mom. Prepare for the anatomy exam on the train. Yeah, that's definitely the son of the doctor running the place. So we've got 22 out of 34 pieces of information. So we have names, we have terms, locations on the map, and then medical terms. Okay, so we have to inspect the medical book and actually pick the terms out of them instead of just being like, oh, I will check something later if I need to. There's another thing to inspect. Beyond the hill, the sun is setting, casting a gentle glow across the western sky. Yes, because he was saying like he has to get there before sunset, and they're about an hour away biking from the station. So in the medical book, we have the nervous system. The body's nervous system is divided into the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. We're gonna be learning medicine here. The central nervous system is made out of the brain and the spinal cord. The 3 types of traumatic nerve injuries are as follow. Traumatic brain injury. This occurs when a physical impact to the head damages part of the brain. Symptoms may include headaches, dizziness, memory loss, and reduced sensation. Now we're gonna have to actually do a proper medical assessment of which one they had. If parts of the brain that control vital functions such as the heart or breathing are damaged, it can lead to death. Tetraplegia and paraplegia. Traumatic spinal cord injury. When the spinal cord is damaged, sensory and motor function below the site of injury might be lost. Injury to the cervical neck region of the spinal cord can result in tetraplegia. Quadriplegia, which is paralysis of all 4 limbs. If the spinal cord is damaged in the thoracic, chest, or lumbar waist regions, paraplegia, which is paralysis of the lower body, can occur. So there's a diagram to explain it as well. Peripheral nerve injury. Peripheral nerves refer to those nerves that connect the central nervous system to the other parts of the body. When peripheral nerves are damaged, symptoms such as reduced sensation, abnormal sensation, or impaired motor function can occur in the affected area. For example, if peripheral nerves in the left foot are damaged, the left foot may experience numbness or tingling sensations. Blood types. Okay, it's about the ABO blood system, but nothing here that we need to pay attention to now or collect, so I'm not gonna read this all out quite yet. We might need this later to like confirm people's identity or stuff like that. So that's all the terms we've needed. Oh, okay, so this guy, we can also click on him, actually not just to inspect, but he's actually saying things. My arms and legs, I can't move them at all. Okay, so he's not dead. He's just had a spinal cord injury. So we've got to fill in information about the case, starting with name. And we've got our teacup with our tea, because, you know, it's important that we have our tea while we do our investigation. So her name, her first name, I'm pretty sure is Daisy, because that's what that note was from the friend. Say, Daisy, you met that guy, right? This guy is Fleming, surname, that's for sure. And then, yes, there is the guy who's missing from the passenger seat. His name is Derek. So let me just review the different bits to remember what's what. So in his bag here, he's got the book that says Rupert. So that's his first name, Rupert Fleming. Then Derek's name was on the note for the car, Walker. And then Daisy. What's Daisy's name? Oh, apparently while I found all the words, I didn't actually inspect the fact that the passenger side windshield is shattered with a large amount of blood present. And we can make a note for it for the pathologist. On her cigarette case, it says Brown. So her name is Brown. And I guess we're gonna stamp it, because I think that's all correct. There we go. Approved. Everything filled in correctly and was right. So now we can go to the autopsy? Yes. You must be the new coroner. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Avery Quinn. I handle the post-mortem examinations. I look forward to working with you. So we have Daisy Brown, a young female discovered in the driver's seat of the vehicle involved in the collision. So we can take our little bits and ask him about them as well. If you have any questions about the case, feel free to ask. I'll provide you with the most objective medical facts I can. Of course, the final judgment and official report will be yours to make. By the way, do you enjoy detective fiction? I've always had a soft spot for the supporting characters. The ones who stand beside the great detectives. Watson with Holmes, Hastings with Poirot. He's just getting started. Yes, okay, he's like, I'm the side character, but the side characters are cool. So we can inspect the body. The head shows clear signs of severe blunt force trauma, heavy bleeding and multiple fractures to the skull. It looks like she took a massive hit, likely at high speed. I heard there was quite a bit of blood at the scene. I've sent the victim's blood sample to the lab, you can check it there. And the injured young man, he'll have his sample sent as well. Yes, we're gonna have to identify whose blood is where, so who was where. Like, it might be that Derek was driving the car, but then he moved her from the passenger seat to cover up the fact that he was driving. The chest area is uninjured, no bruising, no compression marks. But then they say this person was found under the driver's seat. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you hit the steering wheel, you would have marks from that. But she had a head wound instead, and the windshield was smashed, so that would be more consistent from the passenger side car damage. Did I watch a lot of CSI in my life? Yes, I did. Does that make me qualified to be a real crime scene investigator? No, absolutely not. There's a noticeable bruising on the knees, especially the left one. There is also some mild abrasion. It looks like she struck the lower dashboard area. Those are typical for this type of frontal crash. Okay, so now can I ask you about the items? A bottle in the car? Then we better check the stomach. Recent contents may remain. Surely you can also test the blood samples for alcohol? Not sure if that works in dead bodies, but I would assume it does. After opening the stomach. Okay, we don't have to see it. No trace of alcohol, just a small amount of food. Looks like potato and some meat. Yes, so she wasn't drinking. This would be the blood stain contained from the steering wheel. This is a tiny amount. I will mix some saline so you can use it for the test. Blood from the passenger seat, is it? Dried but still usable. I'll rehydrate it with saline so it's ready for your analysis. Okay, so we've asked about everything in here. And now we can go to the lab. All the samples are here. Let's see what the blood says. So we have the blood samples from the driver's seat, passenger seat, from Daisy and from Rupert. And then, yes, A is from the steering wheel, B is passenger side, windshield, and yes, Daisy and Rupert. Okay, we may have to read the book to understand what I'm doing with this test. So, okay, so we can test for a blood type. So blood A has A antigen, blood B has B antigen, and then AB has both and O has none. Antigens exhibit an agglutination reaction when they encounter a specific antibody that reacts with them, causing clumping. To detect the presence of these antigens, we use anti-A antibody, which reacts with the A antigen, and anti-B antibody, which reacts with the B antigen. So then, depending on the reaction, we can tell whether the blood is this type or not. And then we have the Rh blood type system. It's determined by the presence or absence of the Rh factor, particularly the D antigen on the surface of red blood cells. If the D antigen is present, the blood type is classified as positive, and if it's not present, then negative. So that's, again, just coagulation. So we put it on the test things and we read it. There's also a control to see what the test was correct. So the control is just saline with no blood to see that nothing weird happens. So it just gives us all the patterns for each blood type, or there could be not valid results if the control is busted. If the agglutination is observed in control, it suggests the blood sample is contaminated and the test result cannot be trusted. Okay, so I guess we just take it and just put it on this card on all the circles. Okay, so we just have to make sure this is the right thing, right? So we put the blood A from the steering wheel to the driver's seat card. The blood B, which is from passenger side, to the passenger card. DB, that's Daisy's blood, so we put it there. And RF, that's Rupert's blood, so we put it there. So agglutination observed. Now we have to enter the blood type. So this person here on the driver's seat, they are AB positive because everything reacted, and the sample is valid because the control is valid. So we go AB and positive. Then on the passenger seat, this person is A positive and the sample's valid. Daisy Brown, she's A positive, right? So that confirms my initial theory that she was in the passenger seat, even though she was found in the driver's seat. And then Rupert Fleming's blood is O negative. Very rare, I hear. So he is not one of the people in the car. It's a proof that yes, someone else was in the driver's seat. Okay, we stamp it, we submit it. It is approved. We've learned all about blood tests. Just as I thought, the scene wasn't natural. This should be solid evidence. So that's done. Now we go to our next document. Okay, now we're filling in the death certificates. So this is Daisy Brown, female, occupation unknown, age 21, time of death. Okay, so that's where we're gonna be getting into this whole where they are on the map and how far away from a place of death as well with the map, manner of death. So we have, well, I assume it's still going to be an accident, right? As much as the scene is staged in the, she was moved to the driver's seat to pretend like she was driving. The initial death, I assume, was an accident. There is an option for unknown to say, like, was it an accident or was this on purpose? I know it feels like Derek was just showing off. Cause of death is a traumatic brain injury. Okay, yeah, we can switch the type of words we're using on the tabs here because the brain injury is what kills you. Cause of the death, motor vehicle accident. Okay, because they're saying accident here, I'm gonna assume accident here. If motor vehicle accident, check 1. Driver, passenger, pedestrian, and road. She was the passenger, right? That's what we proved with the blood test. A person presumed to have been with the deceased. So we know that Derek Walker was with her in the car because he was driving. So we're gonna have to work out when this happened. And this is emergency medical record, right? Because Rupert, he didn't die, but he's in a pretty bad shape. So yes, his name is Rupert Fleming. His occupation is, he's a student. We're gonna have to check his age in a bit. His main symptom, so he said he can't move his arms or legs, right? Which here it says it's tetraplegia or quadriplegia. So tetraplegia here because of traumatic spinal cord injury, physical impact to the spinal cord. It has to probably be like the actual part, right? To the cervical region. We also have to mark up the paralyzed areas on the body. And yes, it was a motor vehicle accident. There's a second page. In case of traumatic injuries, type of accident, transportation. Time of discovery 7:40 on September 14th. Okay, so that gives us some extra information, right? So we know it's September 14th and he was found at 7:40 and the time of accident is estimated to be 30 to 60 minutes earlier. So gives us a time window for the other report. We still have to narrow down the place. The patient was riding a bicycle when he was struck by a car, motor car, and fell. And he is Sophia's Fleming only child. And he's been admitted to the hospital. Okay, so we have to get his age and the place of the accident. But we can go back to hair, death certificate, and say it's 14th. I'll get a little typewriter of September 1959. Okay, so we only need to put in an hour of the time, right? We don't need to actually do like minutes, which means, let's see. Okay, so he was discovered at 7:40, so this could have happened either 7 or 6, right? Because 30 minutes ago would have been 7:10, but 60 minutes ago would have been 6:40. So we have to narrow it down. So this map we found, right? So there's Cedar Vale Station, and he set off from here, and he wanted to go to Fleming Manor. Right, which means he wouldn't be going as far as Lakeside Junction because he had no reason to. And where he's struck, we're at the T-junction, right? Therefore, it would have to be at Cedar Vale Fork because Fieldview Crossroads. Oh, no, actually, because Oak Hill is also an option, right? So it's along this route, and then the two options for T-junction location we have Cedar Vale Fork and Oak Hill. We do have north and south here, right? And when we're looking at the scene over here, one of our observation was that beyond the hill, the sun is setting, right? So this is the western sky, and therefore the road that the car was driving on is heading west, and therefore they were driving east. And so the only option for that would be Oak Hill, right? Because that would give us the western sky beyond the hill as we're looking up this road and then driving east. Because on this side we would be doing opposite. So the place of death is Oak Hill, Cedar Vale. And we still have to look at the time. But the same for him. The place was Oak Hill. And what is his age? Does it say on his little card? Yes. So he was born April 15, 1936. So his age should be 23. Submit that. Anything else missing here then? It seems like we filled everything on this sheet, so we can stamp it and submit it. And it's approved. It's all correct. So what we're looking at is her exact, or the hour of her death. So he arrived onto the station at 18:15, assuming the train was on time, which is a bold assumption, to be honest. Trains often not on time. But I don't know, maybe in 1959 they were pretty good about it. And then he had a further note about his plan, that it would take 1 hour on the bike. So the whole route would have been about 1 hour. And the junction's kind of nicely divided into quarters, I would say. So it would have been about 15 minutes to Cedar Fork, then half an hour to Fields Crossroad, and therefore about 45 minutes to Oak Hill. I mean, yes, there are hills and therefore could be slowing him down, but let's just go with that. So if we say it was about 45 minutes to get there, even assuming 0 transfer time, right? Even assuming like he literally just got out of the train and started pedaling immediately towards Fleming Manor, it would have still been 7 o'clock if it was about 45 minutes to get to 3/4 of the route. So it does feel like this is setting us for, it must have been at least 7 p.m. by the time he got to Oak Hill. And therefore by the time he was hit by this car. So I'm gonna say that she died at 7 p.m., right? Because it's sunset. And I think that's everything in here. I am going to go with this, calling this an accident, right? It wasn't deliberately planned by Derek to kill her like this, nor is it unknown how she died, right? So this was an accidental death. So we stamp it and go drink our tea for job well done. Approved. There we go. We did it. It appears you've completed the paperwork. Well done. Shall we go over the particulars of the case once more? Just to be thorough. What really happened? Derek Walker had been on a date with Daisy Brown, a woman he had only met recently. Pretending to be wealthy, he rented an expensive car and drove under the influence of alcohol. At sunset, on a freeway hill road, he lost control and crashed. Just before the collision, Derek instinctively turned the steering wheel to the right to protect himself. Daisy, seated in the passenger seat, struck her head violently against the windshield and died instantly. Rupert Fleming, a young man riding his bicycle, was hit hard by the speeding vehicle and sustained serious injuries. And this is why you always wear your seat belts. Though Derek hit his chest against the steering wheel, his injuries weren't life-threatening. Realizing he had caused a fatal accident while drunk, he moved Daisy into the driver's seat and fled the scene. But in his panic, he dropped his wallet and left behind the rental car receipt. A small trace of blood on the steering wheel did not match Daisy's blood type. The wallet and receipt both bore Derek Walker's name. The truth was written in blood, and it couldn't be hidden. Well, yes. If you're gonna do crimes, make sure to, get your name out of everything. Not actual advice. Please don't do any crimes. But this is it for the demo for the Death at Fleming Manor. But it seems like, yes, all of the mysteries in this game are going to revolve around this manor, right? Full of rich people paying for recovery of some sort. And there's going to be more death and more crime in the full version of this game. And yeah, you can let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested to play. Will it be something you're interested to see on the channel? I mean, I'll probably want to play it because I tend to like this sort of games, either as a video series or maybe we'll stream it, even though I've fallen into a few traps with those games where I was like, oh yeah, just nice investigation, and then it got super hard. I like it taking a different route that the Idol-like style, where now we're filling in paperwork, right? We're not filling the story exactly, have to, figure out what sort of sentence they were trying to use to describe the story. It's a little bit more clinical, let's say, where it's like, here are the facts, right? We're just filling them in and getting a little stamp and drinking our tea. So yeah, I think it should be a nice one when it comes out. So far, the release date is only set, I think, as 2026. So we'll see when that happens. So if you enjoyed that one and you want to see more mystery puzzle investigation games, consider liking or subscribing. Thank you to channel members for supporting the channel, and I will see you soon on another adventure.